as this season starts to taper off a little bit because OV and commitment season is coming in to take a lot of its shine, we got to talk about Pro Football Focus. They've been putting out their top players and positions or whatnot, and they dropped one about the top receiving tight ends in the SEC next season, the highest grade ones, that is. And we know that that's a position of contention, something that has made Sooner fans a little nervous. The recruiting has been okay. I mean, we got Von Mitchell last year, who's technically a 2025. He reclassified, but he's a big dude. I mean, he's like 6'4", like 250, 260 already. And like, he's a monster. So, you know, Joe John Finley did well with that. But a lot of people are still kind of doubting Coach, Joe John. And Coach Finley ain't getting the love he should get or deserve. But because, Nate Roberts, the local guy to Washington, decided that Ohio State's the place for him for now. Well, PFF dropped that highest graded return to SEC tight ends. A little shocking here, right? And I think that this is what's going to be needed to turn things around in the recruiting world. I'll explain that in just a minute. So make sure you stick around, Sooner fans. You got to understand how that will turn things around. But I want to talk about the players on this list. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. The guy for pulling up to the channel. All right. This is what Pro Football Focus put out as far as the top graded tight ends coming into the SEC next season at the receiving side. And yeah, when I saw the list, your boy was shocked. I'm not even going to lie. Keep it in a buck. I was like, wait, what? This is what it looks like. I mean, as you can see, the top one on there is kind of a little bit of a sore spot for a lot of us because, Luke's Okie, he's over there at Arkansas. High grade, 89.5 as far as his receiving grade, but look right behind him. Bauer Sharp at 75.5, and then number 9 is Jake Roberts at 68.7. So two players that are now at Oklahoma via the transfer portal. Jake Roberts, local kid from Oklahoma, was at North Texas, was at Baylor, and is now here at Oklahoma. And then Bauer Sharp, where we got from Southeast Louisiana. And y'all know I was hardcore about Bauer Sharp coming in. The minute that I saw him and his film, I said, yeah, this kid's going to be something different. And then, of course, he came in, and what did he do? He came in and looked like something different. And I believe that he's one of those players that he's been getting rave reviews throughout the entire time that he has been here at Oklahoma. Everybody has talked up him. He's one that is, he's heavily not, I'd say the best way to say it is he's definitely, a lot of people look at him in a very positive light. Let's just say it that way. He's big, he's strong, he can catch, he's very athletic, former quarterback. And so now Joe John Finley is going to have to prove that in his coaching as the co-OC at what Oklahoma's going to look like using a tight end. Because remember, the last couple of years, even with Braden Willis, we didn't really use the tight end much in those Jeff Levy offenses. Austin Stogner, we tried to force the ball to him in a lot of ways, but the offense wasn't really conducive to him being able to play. It was big for more of the skills guys, right? Your wide receivers, your X, Y, and then your Z, and then your slot guy. It was built more for them to really eat and cook. Tight end was really kind of built more to block. And so that's kind of like not attractive for a lot of tight ends coming here because they don't want to be here just to block. They don't want to be here just to be the H-back. They want to get out there and get the glory of catching passes. And we got that out of Bauer Sharp. Now, right, you saw him in the spring game, and he looked pretty darn good, right? The routes looked pretty crisp. He looked like he can block while at the same time he can get open because he's athletic. He's pretty freakishly athletic. And so you got to see a lot of Bauer's athleticism in a lot of videos that, Oklahoma decided to put out. You had to put propaganda out from practices. And just this one video of him, I got to play this over and over because it was just amazing watching him catch that pass. It's amazing seeing him hit those routes. It was just amazing seeing his capabilities because, yeah, we need some tight end capabilities in order to do something next season in SEC. Now, let's talk about what that means for Oklahoma and what needs to be done. And so I talked about this in the beginning. Bringing in a player like Bauer Sharp, the most important thing for Oklahoma in the recruiting trail is they have to, and I repeat, they have to leverage the tight end so that the recruits can see what the future holds for them. And so this is going to be the crossroads for them. Like I said, we've got Von Mitchell. So Von Mitchell's a big tight end, and he's young. He's supposed to be a June, going into his senior year in high school, and he's already here at college just because physically he can do it. He's still got some development to do out there, right? Got to get his route running good, got to make him good at blocking. But being able to have players like a Bauer Sharp as well as Jake Roberts and putting in the work, a Josh Fanuel, who we haven't got to really see much of yet, but we've heard that he has some talent. The most critical thing is going to be that Oklahoma has to go out there. They have to put them out, move them out to the slot every once in a while, get them in some wheel routes, get them across the middle. They're going to have to show that the tight end is going to be leveraged on a regular basis. So they may have to force feed a lot of passes in order to get people to not believe that it's going to be bad, right? It's kind of like, Bates and Venables and everybody still has to prove themselves on the defensive line and the linebackers, even though we've got evidence of what they've done at Clemson. Because it's not Clemson, it's now Oklahoma. They're basically, as my boy Ty Hayes over at Around the Table Sports would say, they're paying for the sins of the father, right? They're walking in here having to prove that things aren't what they used to be. We've changed. We're better. We've evolved. We've done this, that, and the other. And so they'll get to that point. That is nothing I'm concerned about. I actually anticipate them to get to that point, and I anticipate them getting there and getting really good about it. But we know that the bigger thing is they have to get and show that the tight end will be a focal point for this offense. And I think this is going to be something that'll happen. I think that Joe John Finley and staff recognize that the more we use the tight end, the more that we put him in work, the better off we are and more excited people are going to be about this team. So when I saw him in the spring game, when I saw him in the practice videos, it made me say, okay, I think Bauer Sharp's going to be exactly what we thought was advertised. So adding him, and then Jake Roberts is going to be more your blocking / catching tight end. I'm not sure how the mix is going to be with him out there in the field. Heard that he's done well, but overall kind of surprised me to see that we have 2 tight ends in the top 10 in grades and receiving on our squad going into the SEC. Like, that's huge. Again, we don't look at Luke. We just pretend like that's not there. But most of these are transfers. So for us, we'll be able to step out. So hop in the comments. Y'all think the tight end room's going to be better? You think Bauer Sharp's going to step out and change the game for everybody? Love to hear from you all on that. You made it this far, like the content. Hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe. Love for y'all to join us, man. Hey, we're talking a lot of ball now. We're past kind of like a lot of the dead periods. The players are coming back for summer workouts. We're going to start to see the OV season. We're going to start to see commitment season. So, of course, we're going to be tuned in on that. Make sure you check out the Sooner or Later Sports Show channel. You'll see all the stuff on recruits. I'm about to start going through all the offers and players that I think that we really have a chance at and ones that we really should keep an eye on. We'll have a whole bunch of videos coming down the line on that. Some quick ones for y'all to understand, what's going on out there. All right. You too said check out one of these videos. Highly recommend it. Because, of course, I recommended it. And we'll talk soon. Peace.